Hey, Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakathum to all the brothers of Israel. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Elatah Hashem Yahushai to the sisters. This is the ISUPK Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander John Yohana. You understand? This is the Tuesday Las Vegas Brotherhood class. I'm Precinct Officer 500 Iraq. All right, and today our topic that I'll be going over, all right, is being in the truth doesn't mean you won't be tempted. All right. So that's the, we're going to just go over that where, right now we're just finishing up with Thanksgiving. And then what's the date? In 5 days, you understand, you got the world's Christmas, right? They're going to celebrate Christmas. And a lot of brothers and sisters are, this may be their first Christmas. It may be your, second Christmas that you are, sitting out because you just discovered, you understand, who you are according to the Bible, who you are to who the Most High God calls you. You understand, to what He knows you as, and that is as His child, one of the Israelites. You understand, you are, so-called Black, Latino, First Nation man or woman. You discovered that you are one of the greatest people, that you are the greatest people on the face of this earth, and that you are not to follow the customs of the heathen, right? So you understand, this class is a big class for brothers and sisters like yourself, like those brothers and sisters I just named off. You understand? Because at no point you see like Commander General Yohana, General Mahaiman, all of the generals, all of the, the captains, all of the officers, you understand, the troopers, the young men. There's not a single rank that I did not name off where the temptation ever stops. There will always be that temptation, you understand, with the world, them demons trying to bring you back into the world, or those worldly people trying to bring you, keep you from being separate from the world. You understand? So this class is just to basically, help y'all understand and see that, for one, y'all not going to be alone in this fight. All right. You're not going to be the only one. Stop doing Christmas. You understand? You're not going to be the only one who get exiled from your family and having all sorts of family issues when, this being your first Christmas that you say, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to serve the Lord. Me and my house, we're actually going to serve the Lord. You understand? You're not going to be the first one who goes through all that, just any instance that you can think of where you think, oh man, this is hard. It's getting difficult for me. I'm just, this class is to let you know that you're not the only one. You understand? And it is to be expected for you to have, you understand, I guess you could say like the world just trying to pull you back in. You understand? The world, think of it like this. The spirit of the world does not want to let you go. You understand? Because the spirit of this world understands that once it lets you go and all of us separate from the world, then this world comes to an end. You understand? Because that's basically when the Most High sends Yahushua, our King. You understand? Or as the world ignorantly refers to him as, Jesus Christ. You understand? That's when he gets sent back. You understand? For this world to be completely killed off. And then there will be no doggone Christmas. You understand? Because first and foremost, the only mention of Christmas in the Bible is basically saying, part of the customs with, decking the tree and having the tree in the first place. You're not supposed to set that up. That is the way of the heathen, and you are not to partake in that custom. You understand? So in other words, there's only negative things that the Most High God has to say about Christmas. Only negative things that the Most High God has to say about Thanksgiving. You understand? Any of these little feast days that has nothing to do with the Bible, the feast days that don't come out of the Bible, the Most High God has nothing but negative things to say about it. You understand? Because, just to paraphrase, but, like the Most High God has said, I hate your feast days. I hate You know, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it real quick before we get into the topic. Before I start liking and sharing and whatnot, right? Because this ain't part of the breakdown, but probably should have put it in the breakdown, right? I hate your feast days. All right, so this is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. It says, I despise your feast days. How do you know that, the feast day is not the Most High God's and that it is your feast day, a man-made, a heathen custom? You understand? Just the simple fact that you can't find it in here. Nowhere in here in this Bible does the Most High God say that you need to have, have this feast on this day and this time. You understand? With, Thanksgiving, with Easter, with Halloween, things like that. Most High God is letting you know that those man-made creations, those man-made days, those man-made holidays are their holy days that are separate to them. Man, it's lucky. Let's read it from the top. Thanksgiving, I despise your feast days. Christmas, I despise your feast days. Easter, I despise your feast days. 4th of July, I despise your feast days. There's brothers and sisters that are up there in Canada, when they have Canadian Day or whatever the hell it's called. I despise your feast days. Y'all understand? These customs, these ways that, come from people, man. The Most High God hates those days. He wants nothing to do with them. Hell, Salakia, how can I forget your birthday? I despise your feast days. You understand? Let's read on. And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings, so that's when y'all are sitting there, gathering around the table, praying over this, this honey glazed ham that the Most High God had already told you not to even eat in the first doggone place. You sitting here gathering together and saying, Lord, bless this food. You understand? Take, so that it may strengthen and nourish our bodies in your name. You understand? Man, the Most High God, first, he ain't hearing that. He don't even want to, he's not smelling that. You understand? And mind you as well, let's not us forget. Let's continue reading on. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offering of your fat beasts. You understand? So this is the Most High God letting you know, man, there's nothing like every part of that custom with Easter, with Thanksgiving, with Christmas, 4th of July, your birthday, the whole shebang. When as much as y'all try to include and put God into it, oh God, God bless this day. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you, God, for this celebration. Thank you, God, for everything on this table. Thank you, God, for everybody to be able to come together and worship me and worship this turkey and and memorabilia of the genocide of our so-called Native American First Nation men and women, brothers and sisters, where there was genocide committed on them. We're going to remember that God's people, the Gadites, according to the Bible, you understand? Man, he hates that. I understand that. God don't even want us doing birthdays, but yet here you are trying to celebrate Christmas and say that is Yahweh's birthday, or as the world ignorantly knows him as Jesus Christ. Y'all trying to say that's his birthday, but he don't want you doing birthdays in the first doggone place. Mind you as well, hey, he wasn't even born in the doggone in the wintertime if we even want to go there. Christ was born in the spring. You understand? In that place where he was born, for him to be born in the wintertime, first of all, the star wouldn't have been where it was, because mind you, they was told to look for that star. You understand? And that's where they would be able to find where he was going to be born. And then, that star was only there during that set time frame, which was spring. Then, mind you, like I said, man, it would have been too damn cold. You understand that? So, just a little touch on that little, them stupid holidays. We need to get away from them. All right. For those of y'all that are, just coming into the school, just coming into the truth, just learning that, you need to be separate from, you need to separate and stop doing these holidays. Listen, once you stop, things aren't going to be all sunshine and daisies, and life is just going to be so great, because now you are doing as the Lord said. In fact, you got to understand that things are going to get even harder. You're going to be tempted with even more things. For you brothers, man, all of a sudden, man, these hoes is just damn near just going to be throwing their drawers at you. You understand? You starting to get, coming to the truth and getting yourself right, man. Listen, there is nothing more appealing to a woman than a man who's got his head on straight and on strong. And in here in the ISUPK, under Commander General Yohana, we will teach you to get your life straight, to get your head straight, and teach you to be that strong man. So in other words, we will make you very appealing to women. You understand that? So, but again, like I said before, the spirit of the world is going to do anything and everything to keep you from leaving the world. You understand? Or at least to bring you back. I pray that y'all understand what I'm saying with that. All right. But in the midst of all that temptation, in the midst of all that hardship, what y'all gotta understand, like I was saying earlier, none of this, for one, will you be the first one to be going through a situation like that? But then also, two, you're not gonna be going through it alone anyways. You think that any of these, these priests and prophets of the Lord out here in just Las Vegas, any of us are gonna be the only ones not celebrating, Christmas? Like I'm gonna be the only one telling my pops, hey, Dad, love you, respect you, the whole shebang, but I need you to love and respect me, that, none of my kids are going to have, we're not taking any type of presents. You understand? In fact, hey, you get to save that dollar. You don't have to sit here and stress, worrying about whether or not you're going to disappoint me or my kids, because you know what? They are all taught that's not our custom. That is not something that we do. And so like, I'm also trying to put my dad on game too and whatnot, so he can, let go of that demon, that worldly spirit. But hey, Lord allowed in due time, right? But y'all understand that I'm not going to be the only one. I'm not going to be the only one telling, my sons, my daughters, my wife, like, no, y'all can't have, y'all can't have these things. We're not on this day. We are not doing, we're not doing this custom. You understand? We're all going to be doing it together. So, and that's also, a very powerful thing that y'all got to understand, is that right there is called brotherhood. And I know that sounds a little bit, strange to, you Black, Latino, and First Nation men and women. But you know what? We actually got that here in the ISUPK, where you're not going to sit there and struggle with anything. All you got to do is just pick up the phone, Salakia, and say something. A brother will be there for you. You understand? Point blank, period. Somebody will be there for you to help you endure whatever it is that you need to endure. And mind you, it doesn't just stop with just doggone holidays. You understand? There's also, people, hey, I keep it a stack. Like I struggle big time with kicking tobacco. You understand? Weed was kind of, I say a whole lot easier. I wouldn't say a whole lot easier, but it was easier than kicking tobacco. For me, man, tobacco was. And that doggone demon had me in a goddamn, what a Captain Tazari like to say, a figure 4 headlock. Which, when I was in high school, you could actually do that when, on the wrestling team and whatnot. It was shortly after I graduated, they actually banned that. But y'all get what I'm saying? Man, that demon had me in a figure 4 lock. It was nothing I can damn near do. But you know what? Through the brotherhood, you understand? And, big ups to, Officer 1000 Bakar out here. He is solely responsible for me being able to kick that doggone demon. You understand? Because, at the end of the day, when he came out here and it was just me and him, we was kicking it more and more. And, I'd be self-conscious. Like, do I smell like, because I like to smoke them Black and Milds. I smell like Blacks. Like, I don't want to be around him. I don't want to hear, disappointment. You understand? So from that, of course, I stopped. You understand that? That pushed me that much more to stop, because for one, I knew better. The Lord told me not to do it, but then also, that push from my brother as well. You understand? My rib Shemaiah as well. You understand? So it's not just one. And of course, when you seek out counsel, you get that counsel. How can I knock this demon? How can I defeat that demon? You understand? The important thing is just that you say something. You understand? All right. So before we actually get into the topic, though, Salakia, I'm going to ask that y'all make sure that y'all do your part to make sure that you like and share the class. You understand? Do your part to get this truth out to the four corners of the earth. You understand? There could be a brother or sister that is on your timeline that is looking to better themselves. You understand? That brother or sister being a so-called Black, Hispanic, that's like a so-called Black, Latino, First Nation man or woman. You understand? And quite frankly, the only way that it's so, said people are able to do so is by Salakia, is by serving the Most High God. You understand? And the only way that you can serve the Most High God properly is by coming into the ISUPK under the Commander General Yohana. You understand? Because quite frankly, we are not only just the home of the truth, but we are the only place that has the truth. That is exactly why the ISUPK is still undisputed. You understand? The Catholic Church, the Christian Church, the Muslim, the Buddha, whatever God, whatever religion that you want to throw our way, or even a fake doggone, essentially it's a Christian camp as well, but y'all want to say that y'all are schools and Israelite camps yourself, but we are the only ones who have the truth. You understand? JUIC, which is Judas United in Christianity, I refuse to call them by what they try to call themselves. They can either get JUIC or purple homosexuals. You understand? The gay the gay Barneys, they can have that. Doggone it. You understand? They can't compete with us. They don't have the truth. None of them have the truth. You understand? The truth is only here in the ISUPK. So with that being said as well, that also lets you know that the cure to all Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman's issues, the cure is only found here in the ISUPK. You understand? And quite frankly, we consistently show this by how we just had the Feast of Dedication. Nobody has a Feast of Dedication like the ISUPK does. You understand? When you see them photos and pictures of them other fake camps, and them Christian camps, that's what we'll call them. You understand? So that pretty much that sums it all up between Christianity, Catholicism, and them JUIC and GOCC and all of them, right? But when you see the photos of them Christian camps coming together to do their Feast of Dedication, their Passover, their whatever they believe that they're upholding, right? Man, at the end of the day, there is not brotherhood in there. You understand? There is no decency and order in there. You understand? You got them brothers, still being ruled by the lust of their flesh. You understand? That's why, them purple homosexuals, that's why their leader has them signing what is it called? An NDA, because he over there sending pictures of his rod to everybody. You understand? Getting our sisters murdered by them African booty scratching Hamites. You understand? So you can't speak on that. Or else, hey, now you got yourself a lawsuit. You understand? Just because you want to come forward and actually speak the truth. What's that in itself lets you know that they don't speak the truth. All right. So with that being said, if there's anybody that is online that has any questions, we encourage you post your questions on online. I will answer it to the best of my ability scripturally. If I'm unable to do so myself, I will take your question to a mightier man than myself and get the question answered for you, and then we will bring it out in the following Thursday scripture breakdown class with Officer 5000 Shabal, and the following class that I teach, the following Tuesday class that I teach. You understand? We are not the Christian church where, if you ask a question, we're going to sit here and tell you, what will make you feel good, what sounds good, or what kept me out of the doggone Christian churches was the fact that they kept telling me pray about it. It made no doggone sense to me. Salakia. You understand? So y'all got any questions at any given time, whether it's on topic or off topic, again, you are encouraged to post your questions so that they may be answered. All right. So now let's go ahead and get into this topic. Again, for those of y'all that are just tuning in, that are unaware of what the topic is for today, the topic is titled Being in the Truth Doesn't Mean You Won't Be Tempted. All right. Being in the truth does not mean you will not be tempted. In fact, the temptations will amplify and multiply. All right. That's exactly why when you watch those classes under General Mahaiman's classes, he loves to let y'all know, gives you that fair warning as a good brother should. You understand that it is difficult to be in here. All right. This being in the ISUPK is not for the weak. You understand? Those purple homosexuals and JUIC, the reason why they can't get down here in the ISUPK, the reason why, what is it? Nathaniel twerking on camera in front of men, Nathaniel, you understand, left the ISUPK is because he is not able to be held accountable for his actions. You understand? He can't face the consequences of his actions, nor does he have the ability to stand up, nor does he have the ability to change himself for the Lord. You understand? Because he's still in love with with the lust of his flesh. You understand? That's why he was twerking on camera for them for those men. You understand? That's why he's sending pictures of his rod to other brothers, to men in his congregation. Can't even technically say brothers because he be having Hamites in there. You understand? Which again lets you know that he is too in love with the temptations when they are presented to him. He is still in love with the needs and desires of his flesh. You understand? And if you cannot stop the dance of death with your flesh, then you cannot survive here in the ISUPK. And that's what General Mahaiman is trying to warn y'all of and let y'all know that when you come in here, man, prepare your soul for temptation. Prepare yourself because it is coming your way and it is not going to stop. You understand? But with that said, it is important to also understand that these things that, those temptations is not nothing new. And it is all, it can all be fought and overcame over. You understand? So there is no need to be too afraid. If you have an issue with being a drug addict, a murderer, a thief, what have you, when you come into the ISUPK, we'll get you right. And we will teach you to be stronger than all those temptations. You understand? All right. So we're going to start off at the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. All right. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. So again, this still ties back into what I was, what I started off the class with talking about, with the holidays and whatnot. These holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, that's also coming up in a few weeks as well. These are things of, these are customs of the heathen. You understand? Only the heathen wants to pay tribute to someone who's been dead for thousands of years. And I'm not talking about Yahweh Shamashiach. You understand? Or as the world ignorantly knows him as is Jesus Christ. Who I'm talking about is Nimrod. You understand? Christmas is just holding Nimrod's birthday in remembrance. That's all that is. You understand? Or Thanksgiving. Man, Thanksgiving, you celebrating and you're celebrating and what's the word I want to use? Celebrating and memorializing. I believe that's the word I want to use. Memorializing the genocide of our brothers and sisters. You know, the so-called First Nation brothers and sisters. You understand? The so-called Native Americans. You understand? That's all Thanksgiving is. And what you gonna sit there and do? You know, you're gonna hold 4th of July, have a feast, you know, on the 4th of July, because last time I checked, so-called blacks and Latinos and First Nation men and women, we was all still in chains. We were still enslaved in 1776, July 4, 1776. So what is there for you to celebrate? And I'll wait. But you know what you are doing when you partake in the 4th of July? Let's read that again from the top. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor. Should I read it one more time just in case that y'all missed that? Envy. And I'll just stop right there with just that one word. What you are doing when you are partaking in, you know, the customs of these heathens, you are being envious of your oppressor. You understand? Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Let's go ahead and look up what the word envy means. You understand? This is another thing that we do in the ISUPK. We make sure that we thoroughly research so that we make sure that we understand everything. You understand? All right. So envy, verb, desire to have a quality, possession, or other desirable attribute belonging to someone else. You understand? So in other words, when you are partaking in the 4th of July, you are envious of their freedom. Now, at first you might say, well, that's not so bad. Why would you not desire to have freedom? But you want a white man's freedom, no? You want the type of freedom to do whatever the hell you want, where, you know, their freedom is you to be a homosexual. Their freedom is to eat whatever the hell they want to. Their freedom is just to do whatever the hell that you want, to the point where if you are a so-called Black, Latino, First Nation man or woman, you're going to piss off the Most High God and end up in the condition that you are in now. Y'all see how that all comes to play? Y'all see, and that also lets you know that the Most High God does not give a damn about these other, you know, about our oppressors, these other nations, these heathen nations. He doesn't care about what they do, or else he would have been punished them. You understand? But their time will come. It's just their punishment is not of yet. But right now, you Black man, you Latino man, you First Nation man, and women as well, of all three that I just named, the Most High God is dealing with you. So the things that you do, the Most High going, hey man, you know, just if you are a Black, Latino, First Nation man and woman, I know for a fact that you heard this before. I don't give a damn about them other kids. I ain't their parents. I'm your parent. You understand? Most High God said, where y'all think that your parents got that from? From the Most High God. That spirit. You understand? Israelites, Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women, we have that spirit of the Most High God. We have that in us already. You understand? That's why we already say and act out the things that, you know,
how he feels towards us. Man, I ain't that guy. I don't give a damn about what he doing. I don't care what Timmy and Karen and Trevor is doing, and Wang Chong Chi Chong and Kutu and whatever, the 7-Eleven dude that dudes tell you to thank you and come back again. Like, he's not worried about what the hell that they doing. He worried about what you doing because he made a covenant with you, with your forefathers, with you. You understand? And your people, our people, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. You understand? So because of that, we are not, we're not to do what they do. We're not to have the things that they have. You understand? We are to do and have the things that the Most High God tells us that we are allowed to have, that we are allowed to eat, that we are, the customs that we are supposed to have. Like, take, for example, right now we're in the middle of the Feast of Hanukkah for 8 doggone days that just started this past Saturday. And may I say, just give a hand to Officer 5000 Shabal Salakia, because, the brother is out here just putting together amazing class. So like we watched Commander General Hannah's class, which was amazing, Salaki. But, an amazing function for us to come together and, blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women are able to come together, sit down, have liquor flowing, and have absolutely no issues. You understand? And of course, he learned that from Commander General Yohana. Commander General Yohana learned that from Yahweh Shamashiach. Yahweh Shamashiach learned that from, the Most High God. Y'all see what just happened? I climbed up the ladder, but y'all see how that just worked right there? All right. And quite frankly, for blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women, that right there, that's a small taste of our kingdom. For those of y'all that actually partook in a Feast of Hanukkah, you understand, or the Feast of Dedication, y'all had such a good time, and you can look back and just think, man, like, how there was no drama, there was no issues, you had buku fun, and you know what that is? A small taste of the kingdom of heaven. Small taste, very small taste. But the way that we were able to function together, that right there is basically going to be the theme of the kingdom of heaven. I pray you understand. And so, no, it's lucky. And with that, we come back to the word envy. Desire, the desire to have a quality possession or desirable attribute belonging to someone else. When they have, when these heathens have their customs, they have their feast days, they have their, their little silly celebrations and whatnot, which a lot of them revolve around the death and destruction of our people, right? But when they come together, man, they stay at each other's throats. Where the hell you think we got that from? You understand? They're doing abominable and disgusting things during the celebrations, where, some white man is going to catch his brother sleeping with his wife during the 4th of July because he just came home from Iraq, Afghanistan, and, wanted to surprise his wife and kids, but he got surprised because his wife is making new kids with his brother. You understand? Like, you envious of that? And the crazy part is, because of the freedom that they have from their custom, the woman is going to, in their court of law, the woman is damn near going to be right. She's going to be the one who gets the doggone child support and all that. You don't believe me? Ask yourself who paying doggone child support when you actually trying to be a good father. Or for you wicked ass women that's watching, when the father of your children is actually attempting to be a father to them, but you blocking them off. Looks like you need to look at yourself. But hey, you don't want to do that because you are benefiting from the envy of, that you have for your oppressors. You understand? But you know what? You will never truly have what they have. We will never have their type of freedom. And in fact, I don't even want their freedom. I don't want their celebrations. I don't want their women. I don't want their food. All of it is unseasoned and disgusting anyways. You understand? It's all overrated. I'll wait patiently for the Israelite, for the Black, Latino, First Nation man and woman freedom. You understand? I'll keep holding on, you know, I'll keep what's the word? Salakia. I'll keep holding the high holy days and feast days that that the Most High God had told us, the Israelites, to keep every year. You understand? And mind you, as well, you know, like I just told y'all, that's 8 days. Man, the only reason why we ain't really functioning like that out here in Las Vegas right now is because we are in oppression. But you know, in the kingdom, that whole 8 days, man, we functioning. We don't get just I get off at 5. Salakia, Lord, I get off at 5 p.m. So after 5 p.m., then I can actually partake in, you know, the feast day that you had commanded me to keep. Now, you know what's going to be like in the kingdom? Man, a lot of these high holy days, these Sabbaths, these feast days, where we are commanded to have a Sabbath for 8 doggone days, 7 days, man, everything gonna be shut down because all the Israelites, man, we all gonna be keeping the high holy days. And you want to trade that for a 4th of July, for an Easter Sunday dinner that nobody really likes? Salaki. Even as a kid, I never really liked Easter. I never really understood it. Some stupid bunny that I never got to see laying around eggs with disgusting ass jelly beans and salaki, but I hate hard-boiled eggs. So, like, you want me to go pick up the nasty ass eggs around the yard? Man, this is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, y'all can have that. You know, when you start to learn about the truth and coming into the truth, and you get that foundation of the truth, you start to look at the heathen customs and holidays like that. Man, what the hell was I doing? Like, this shit was stupid. Salakia for my language. But you understand? Man, it's stupid. And then, of course, when you start actually holding the high holy days of the Most High God, man, just wait till y'all have y'all first Passover. Y'all come to the first Passover where, you know, I believe, who was it? Was it Commander General Yohana that said it? Or maybe it was General Mahyman that said it, I believe, on Monday, where, you know, you come Passover, you damn near not even allowed to sleep. And not in a bad way. It's because, man, you having too much damn fun. It's like, man, we constantly doing something. We constantly functioning with each other. Like, there's damn near no time to sleep. And you don't even want to sleep because you are enjoying being with your people that much. And again, like, this is the whole nation coming together with liquor flowing and not a single doggone issue. You understand? Well, we're not having issues with, you know, brothers having ots for whatever reason, or a brother getting too damn drunk, and so now he want to try and fight everybody. Man, we don't have that in ISUPK. You understand? And I know a lot of that sounds crazy because we so used to, you know, how we act in the world, unruly. But we don't have that in the ISUPK. You understand? So like you. Let's go ahead and move on, get that next one. All right. So we're going to drop the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31, and we're going to go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 3. The book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 3. All right. Give y'all a second to get there. Take me a little sippy sip. That is excellent for water. All right. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 18 and verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. Man, so in other words, this is letting you know that just because you live somewhere or you used to live somewhere, there's no excuse. The Most High God is letting you know, don't do it. The only thing that you should do are the things that I told you to do that are written here in this book, in the King James 1611 Bible. You understand? Man, again, we just had the Feast of Hanukkah. Could you imagine actually having a Sabbath where your boss cannot call you in for mandatory overtime? So like, you know, Maria Shemaiah, she worked at Caesar's Palace, right? And it really blew my mind, the concept of mandatory overtime. Like, cool, yeah, extra pay, whatever. But how are you going to tell me that no, I called you in, you have to work today? Now, mind you, I was in East South military, so technically we on the clock 24/7, but I signed a contract. That's a little bit different, right? You talk about in the civilian sector, you can get fired if you tell them no, I can't come in for mandatory overtime. You understand? Now, just imagine if that could, just imagine there was at least one day of the week, at least one day. So you guaranteed at least one day off every week, at least on a Sabbath every week. Could you imagine that? Here in America, you damn near can't. Hell, in Egypt, you damn near couldn't either. You understand? Because Master didn't care. He worked your ass off. When he wants to put you to work, you better show the hell up, or else there will be severe consequences. Shalom Adolphus, Salaki, if I said your name incorrectly. Shalom, it's good to see you in the classroom. Hey, Shalom, Little Christ, Officer Natazab, it's good to see you, sir. You understand? Let's read that from the top. The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. So, doesn't matter where you're from. Okay, Most High Christ. Most High Christ. So it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter where you currently live. And it doesn't matter where the Most High God sends you. You understand? You are not to take on the customs and ways of the land of which you come, you're going to dwell in. That you dwelt in, that you dwell in, or that you will dwell in. You understand that? I pray that y'all do. Because you know what? When you look at the news, you look at your brother, across the street from you, next door from you, what have you, our people don't understand that. Because they are all envious of our oppressor. They are all doing the ways of our oppressor. You understand? And mind you as well, to bring it back to, them Christian camps and whatnot. Those Christian camps, they allow, they're in there saying, yes, I am an Israelite. God is only for me. And if we're in purple, then we include the Africans too. But, I follow the law, statutes, and commandments, but I pick and choose some things. There are some things, we follow the law of the land, like being a snitch. You understand? Like, y'all got to understand that what supersedes all the laws of every land is following our laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High God set for us. All right. Now, of course, like I started off with saying, the spirit of the world is going to do its part to bring you either back into the world or keeping you from leaving it in the first place. So if you want to be able to, have one foot in and one foot out, you go to one of them little, Christian camps, go put on all purple. You understand? Because in there, you can still do some wicked things. You understand? You can fall to your temptations. And the brothers might, hey, they'll sweep it under the rug, especially if you are genuinely an African. If you are a Hamite, they're going to defend you more than they're going to fight and defend for the murder of their own sister. You understand? But when you do that, you also saying, when you join one of them, you also letting everybody know that you hate your people and you actually hate Christ. You understand? Because they are on videos talking about who cares about Trayvon Martin, Salakia. Who cares? Who gives a damn about Trayvon Martin? To hell with George Floyd, right? And if you have a warrant out for your arrest, they are going to turn you in because that bounty basically will benefit them. Which a bounty is what? I mean, isn't that a temptation from the world to bring, isn't that the world trying to tempt you back in? Hey, man, I got some monies. Come take this. All you got to do is just sell out your brother. Set your brother up to get murdered. And you can have this. That's what they said. I pray that y'all understand. All right. You know what? We're going to read verse 4. Ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. You understand? So, in the midst of all, being separate from all them, all the other nations, all their ways, of course, those temptations are going to sit there and nitpick at you. The Most High God said, no, you are to only follow my ways, my ordinances. And you are to walk only in this direction of which I had set out for you. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, put it in my own words, Salakia, but y'all understand, right? So the Most High God is also letting you know that there is no excuse. That's why in the ISUPK we say no, we have no cowards and we have no excuses. We don't want no cowards. And we make no excuses. You understand that? You're not going to understand that if you're still holding on to the ways of the world. If you're still holding on to that demon that, that's still dancing with the spirit, the spirit of the world, so to speak, right? Where you still are giving into the lust of your flesh. All right. All right, let's drop that. We're going to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2. Book of Jeremiah, 10, verse 2. And again, if there's anybody that has any questions online, you are highly encouraged to post your question online so that it may get answered. All right. That's what these classes are for, so that our people can be edified. Okay. Mind you, nobody in the ISUPK was placed in the seat that they are in as a general, captain, or an officer just by only sitting, just showing up and sitting in class. You understand? You become an officer, you become a captain, you become a general by asking questions. That's where it all starts. You understand? You have to be able, you have to receive that knowledge. And you're not going to be able to get that knowledge if y'all don't ask those questions. You understand? So, it's highly encouraged for y'all to seek edification and ask your questions. All right. So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Whew. Hold on. We got one more again now, right? Book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord. So the Most High God said this. Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Understand? Don't be sitting there following the ways of the heathen. Obviously, when they sit there and look at the stars, and there's a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse, and this shooting star and this, that, and the other, man, don't get caught up like how they be getting caught up with all that nonsense. You understand how? Oh, now this is good luck. There is a meteor shower, so that means that we have good fortune for the next. I don't know. I can't think of what culture believes in that a meteor shower is good luck for like X amount of time. But you understand, They believe that because they are dismayed. I think it's the Chinese. I think it's the so-called Chinese. I think somebody can look that up and post it in the chat if you don't mind. But you understand? That's because they are dismayed at the things that they see up in the sky. Or it's a big deal whenever you see a solar or lunar eclipse. You know what I'm saying? You know what's really a big deal? I'll tell you what's a big deal. Getting yourself right in this goddamn Bible. You understand? What's really a big deal is watching these brothers and sisters learn about who they are in this Bible and then completely changing themselves. Have a complete 180. They get a new name and they become the most phenomenal brothers and sisters that you can ever see on the face of the earth. They become the people that the Most High God called them to be. You understand? That is something that I mean, there's no words for it. It's incredible. It's the most beautiful thing that you can witness. You understand? Man, you can see, I could see 1,000 lunar eclipses and it would never equate to seeing one brother or one sister turning their life around, genuinely turning their lives around. You understand? Being to come out of the world and be separate. You understand? There's not enough shooting stars. There's not enough lunar eclipses, solar eclipses. There's not enough, there's nothing that the heathen can get dismayed at that would be able to amount to just one brother, one sister. You understand what I'm saying? Because don't get me wrong, one of my desires before I die, I want to go see the Northern Lights before I die. You understand? But you know what? If I don't get that upper opportunity, would I be upset? No, because you know what? I saw something even more beautiful than that. I've seen brothers and sisters turn their lives around. You understand? Hell, even the pleasure of being able to raise children myself in the truth so that they don't have to go through the same things that myself and their mother went through. But when I get to see, other brothers raise their children up in this truth, and just to see them never have to go through any of the things, make any of the mistakes that any of us made when we were in the world. Hey, shalom, Lord of Christ, young man, John. It's good to see you. All right? Good to see you in the class. You understand? Let's read that from the top. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Now, see, like I said earlier in the beginning of the class, the only mention of Christmas is in a negative light. Y'all understand that? For the customs of the people are vain. All right. So, in other words, what this workman is about to do in the forest with an axe is vain. It's vanity. It's like not vanity. It's vain. It's pointless. It has no meaning. It has no weight to it, we'll say. All right. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Verse 4, they deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. Doesn't that sound like a Christmas tree? You understand? You setting up that Christmas tree is in vain. So when you sit there and say that you are doing it for it's Christ's birthday, you know what the Most High God says? That is vain. It's pointless. What are you doing? You're stupid. Salaki. Actually, no, not Salaki, but hey, you're stupid. That's what it comes down to. You are unlearned. You are envious of your oppressor, and you need to get your funky ass in class and learn and wash away everything that you thought you knew of this world. You understand? What how does Jeremiah Hyman, he said, coming to the ISUPK, you can get brainwashed. There's nothing wrong with being brainwashed. All that filth of the world be washed out and off of your brain. That's what y'all need to do. If you are celebrating Christmas and you try to have the audacity and say that you still believe in God, you believe in this Bible, but you got that stupid tree up there, okay, that's the way of the heathen. And you're doing things out of vain. You're doing vain acts, pointless. There's no point. So, in other words, you like to waste your time, which I feel like that is one of the most common things that I read on the internet is that someone says, I don't want my time wasted. Don't come here and waste my time. I ain't got time for that, however you want to put it. But yet you got time to put up a tree, fasten it with nails so that it doesn't move, and deck it with silver and gold for ultimately no reason. I mean, that's what you that's what you choose to do, I guess, man. Hey, I don't even, man, that's just silly to me. Salakia. All right, let's go ahead and let's drop that. We're gonna go to, see, I hate when I do this in my notes. Go to the book of Exodus, chapter 20. Is that 3? Yeah, 3. Can't even read my own handwriting. But y'all understand, man, don't get yourself caught up doing pointless things. Because then what? When, say the Lord has you come forward to explain yourself, why you was doing certain things. Let's just say that could happen, right? That's an opportunity that we all get, some get, what have you, right? How are you going to explain when the Lord says, I told you, and you heard it, you even saw it in the Bible, that what you're doing has absolutely no value. This is a vainful act, an act of no value. You get nothing out of this except pissing me off, right? How do you justify what you did? How do you justify still setting up that Christmas tree and keeping the way of a heathen? How would you, I don't know, that like, Salaki. I got to the point when, when I was knocking certain things that I was doing when I was, coming out of the world, like, I would think about that stuff. Like, that's actually what helped me stop getting high. You understand? I would get high and it would be so like I couldn't enjoy my high because the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, man, Christ is going to return right now and I'm going to be freaking high. And how do I explain this when I knew better? I know better. How do I explain this? Man, I got tired of having that thought process. Oh, man, I'm done. I can't even enjoy this. So at that point, what's the point of even doing it, right? Barakatah Yahweh I wasn't that much of a drug addict. I was able to, at least have that thought process. But hey, some brothers and sisters, they still need that help. And that's why it's important for y'all to say something. All right. So that you can get that help. Okay. All right. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. So thou shalt not have no other gods before me. So y'all got to understand that when you are keeping the ways of the heathen, whether it's something like the 4th of July or Halloween, because what that came from the Celtic Druids, or Christmas, that comes from Nimrod. Thanksgiving is American, that's That's an American tradition. Easter is an Egyptian tradition. What is January 1st? What is that called? New Year's. That's a Roman tradition. The Roman god Janus of time and time and change. You understand? Now, mind you, I named off a couple of gods. Now, Halloween, Celtic gods, like that was because they were going to sacrifice. They sacrificed children. That's what Halloween is about. Is sacrificing children. Hence the children going to strangers' doors. That principle, like, come on, Salakia. You know what I'm saying? Christmas, like we talked about that, that's Nimrod's birthday. Easter, that's what's that fake deity's name? Ishtar, Salakia. Easter, Ishtar, which is basically, it's damn near the same, the Egyptian goddess of fertility. You understand? When you partake in these customs, you are worshiping their gods, whether it's Independence Day, it's, if it has nothing to do with the Bible, you understand, and it's a custom or a way of a heathen nation, just know that you are tiptoeing, putting your foot in with worshiping their God. You understand? When Exodus 20, verse 20, when the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 3 says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." So there should be no other gods that you deal with at all. But when you partake in any of the ways of these heathens, smoking, you understand? They got a god for, smoke. Like smoking is a very big spiritual and religious act that, hell, I want to damn near every single culture except for us brings into practice. It's got some sort of what is it, like religious, what's the word I want to use? Basically, religious importance. In other words, they have to smoke. It's important to these other religions to be drug addicts. Opium, marijuana. You understand? Like, it's a very big deal to them. And mind you, God said not to smoke at all. So when you paying tribute to somebody, when you sit there and roll up that blunt, when you pack that pipe, when you spark up that cigarette, you understand? You are partaking in their ways. All right. Drop that. Go to the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. Oh, that's not good. All right. This is the book of 18. It's laggy, y'all. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." Y'all understand that? So this is the Most High, the angels, letting us know that, like, yo, man, come out of these other nations. Come out of, everything that goes against the Most High God. Because if you don't, all of the plagues and afflictions, all the sins that are going, that these people are going to be judged for, you're going to have that same full plate. You understand? So, all the lies and deceit and the homosexuality and the thieving and murdering and pillaging and pissing off the Most High God, we'll just leave it at that. You aligning yourself with with whichever nation, you get to eat from the same plate, drink from that same cup of sin. You understand? And you are being forewarned to step away from that. You understand? You are being forewarned to step away from that and stop partaking in these things, because if you don't, you're going to get dealt with just like all the others are going to get dealt with. You understand? It's important for y'all to hear this word and to actually listen. You understand? It's one thing just to hear it, but you need to listen, put it into action. You know now that you Black, Latino, First Nation man and woman, that you are an Israelite, that you are a child of God, that you are above all the people on the face of the earth. You find that in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. You understand? You have learned this from the truth, from the book, from the Bible, the book of life. You understand? When you start to step away from it, man, you stepping away from life. There's no other book on the face of this earth that can give you life, Black man, Latino man, First Nation man. Nothing else can give you life. Nothing else will save you. The only thing that everything else will do is just include you in their destruction. That is it. You understand? All right, we're going to drop that, go to the book of Psalms. Now we're going to go to the book of Psalms. All right. The book of Psalms, chapter 96 and verse 5. The book of Psalms, chapter 96 and verse 5. All right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. So in other words, they're idols. They're just it's just something to look at, basically, is what an idol is, right? Hold on, Salakia. All right, so I even looked up the word idol for y'all. Now, an image or representation of a god used as an object of worship. So it's just an image or a representation. So in other words, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's just that idol is just nothing. It's just supposed to be something that you're like, you know what? This is what I say Ra looks like. This is what I say, Buddha. This is what Buddha looks like. This is what we all agreed that Buddha looks like. Buddha was actually a thin dude, by the way. But you understand? All these other gods, man, they're nothing but just a pointless representation of something that's not even real, right? So like, where was it at? 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. It's like, man, so you want to sit here and teeter-totter with all these other gods that aren't even real, these idols, but you really want to play with your life with the one who made the heavens and the earth and you. Ooh, you bold, man. You a brave one. I'll give you that. You a brave one. You understand? All right, now we're going to drop that. We're going to go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 4. All right. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day. All right. So this right here is letting y'all know, man, when you start to learn the truth and you start, you make that wise decision on separating and coming out of the world, you now get put under a shadow of protection that nothing can Like just nothing can mess with. You understand? The only thing that can hurt you is the Most High God himself at that point. You understand? That's it. Nothing else. Because only the Lord kills and he heals. You understand? He decides what's going to kill you, when to kill you. When you understand? When everything is going to, good and bad is going to happen to you. You understand that? But you walk into a different ball game when you are walking through that valley of death without the Lord's protection. All right. So this right here, but ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day. This right here is letting you know that if you come into this truth, you learn about this truth, and you still actively decide to, to step away from it, to go back into the world, you really rolling the dice of life right there. Because, you just never know when you have used your last bit of mercy. You will never know it until you're dead. You understand that? When the Most High God decides, you know what, I'm going to cast judgment on your ass. I've been giving you buku chances to stop doing this, stop doing that. Now you want to go back to it? All right. And then you wonder why, now you got AIDS. Now you wonder why, now you're broke. Now you're dead, whatever. Yeah, you were given an opportunity to change. And you actively decided not to actually fight against that. In other words, fall back into that temptation. You fell weak to that temptation. You understand? Those that don't, that fight and endure through it, that seek out help. What does it say? But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day. Man, those are the ones that get to survive. That the Lord keeps that shadow of refuge for, of protection. You understand? The Most High God preserves their lives because, hey, that is what is reserved for the those that are obedient. You understand? All right, let's drop that. Now we're going to go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 1. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 1. Hey, shalom with a Christ. All right. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You understand? So when you decide, you know what, I am going to serve the Lord. I am going to make that change. I am going to, turn my life around and show that the Lord that, I can be obedient and do, carry out his will. You understand? I have the will to see that the Lord's will be done here on earth. You understand? When you make that decision, let's read it one more again. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Be ready to be tempted. You understand? Because again, like what I had brought out in class in the beginning, man, shit ain't sweet in here. Life is about war. So if you think that the war is over just because now you're serving the Lord, either you're not serving the Lord because probably you're one of them little, fake Christian camps, or because you got to understand, man, the Lord said, man, prepare yourself for temptation. Things are going to come your way. Women are going to try you, brothers. And hell, men are going to try you, sisters. You understand? There's going to be all sorts of great opportunities that are going to come up All of a sudden, because now you're serving the Lord, but there's always going to be a catch with it. And that catch is that you have to compromise, the Lord. You have to give up the Lord some way, somehow. And no, of course, they'll sugarcoat the hell out of it, make it sound like it's doable. Oh, you can just not do, this. You can still do these things, but just not this. You understand? Take, for example, pretty sure that, the whole world, the fake Jewish community would have been fine if, Kyrie Irving just, like he kept the Feast of Hanukkah and all these things, but you going out of your way to actually say something about who the real Jews are and that they are actually black, or not even I don't think he actually said who they were. He just said, man, I've been learning from a movie that I watched. You understand? Compromise. They want him to compromise. You understand? All right, let's read verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Let's break that down, man, because this right here is heavy. Y'all got to understand this, especially with this time of year, especially this time of year for those of y'all that are new to, coming into the truth. And this may be your first Christmas that, you are, you're girding up your loins to tell your family, man, I ain't doing this. I'm done with this. I'm done following, envying my oppressor. It's time that I serve my God. You understand? Set thy heart aright. We all know that heart is your mind. You understand? So this is saying, set your mind right. All right. And constantly endure. And constantly endure. I mean, that's very cut and dry. Because constantly you are going to be pressed and tempted. You understand? And make not haste in time of trouble. So don't be quick to act when you're in trouble. Because we all know that when you are quick to react, quick to, just we'll stick with that for right now. When you are quick to react, you are even quicker to make a mistake. So it may not even be intentional, but you need to understand, though, you are still setting yourself up for destruction because you still have to answer for whatever actions that you do make. You understand? So that haste is going to get you in trouble. You trying to act real quick is going to get you in trouble. You understand? There's a thing that I was in East Side's military, right? And I worked with the Green Beret. And a lot of times when we was doing training exercises and stuff like that with them, they would always stress to us, listen, you got to get through this really quick, but always remember this, that slow is fast and fast is slow. You understand? Slow is fast and fast is slow. So in other words, man, take your time and be thorough. Because if you have to backtrack on something, that mistake can cost you your life. And that, quite frankly, actually does pertain to, this Bible. You understand? That still does apply. Because when you are too hasty, when you are too fast, like I said before, and you're more prone to make a mistake. You understand? A mistake that when you have to answer for it, that answer is is your life. It costs you your life. You understand? Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. You understand? Cleave unto him. Let's talk about cleave unto the Most High God. Man, never let go of the Most High God. You understand? And depart not away. Again, never let go, man. Don't ever leave the Lord. That thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So that, in the end, you actually get. See, I don't want to put it that way. you'll be increased at your last end, where I want to put this, because it's not the way that I want to say it sounds almost like a very vain way, like, you know, like vanity. It's about me. I'm trying to uplift, you know, big up my name, but that's not really what it is. You understand? Where, you know, you're increased at thy last end. So, okay, like take for example, you know, when we hear that a brother or sister has passed, you know, we say, you know, man, may that brother, may that sister, you know, rise in power. Of course, you know, rising in power is also them rising up in the kingdom. But, you know, that's also, man, may they rise, you know, in a seat of power as well. They, you know, they can be worthy. So now they, you know, that's also them being, you know, being increased at that, you know, at their end. They may have been at a low state when they died, but they will be increased when they return. You understand? And that might actually be my next subject that I teach y'all, regeneration, because regeneration is biblical for those of y'all that are not hip to that. You understand? Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low state. So, in other words, you know, don't be so quick to get depressed and down when hard things come your way. You understand? It's not necessarily saying, oh, start, you know, yippee-ki-yay, I'm going through a hard time. Yippee! Like, it's not, that's not what it's saying. Just understand that, you know, you're going to come, when you come out of this situation that you know has got you at a low state, that, you know, this hardship, right? Of course, nobody wants to go through a hardship. It's always, it's uncomfortable, and nobody wants to be uncomfortable at the end of the day, right? Understand that when you come out of it, you're coming out stronger. So you may actually get put through that same situation or very similar, almost identical situation again, and you won't even notice it because it won't be that bad that second, third, fourth, fifth time around, because now you're seasoned through it. You know how to deal with a situation like that. Not only that, but, you know, your patience is getting you through it, where, like, it's like this. When you're sitting there patient, you know, when you're being impatient about getting out of class, when, you know, when we was all in high school, middle school, you understand, you know, these new kids, I don't know nothing about that. Cause I mean, hell, they damn near in and out of freaking homeschooling and, you know, computer school and whatnot. But because of this COVID, but Salakia, you know, when we was in like middle school, high school and whatnot, just like, man, I can't wait to go home. You sit there and watch that clock being impatient. Think about how long, like you feel like, you know, you're sitting there watching the clock, it's going, then you look away for what you feel like is at least 3 minutes. And you look back, and that second hand only moved from the 5 to the 7. You're like, man, what the hell? Being impatient, man. And that's why when you going through it, man, it sucks. You just so focused on letting it end. Don't do that. All right. This is that wisdom that's coming out, you know, that you should get out of this part of you know, that is a part of this. And of course, that is the wisdom that you will gain when you go through, you know, just some shitty situations. You understand? You'll learn patience. And then when you just sit there and be patient, you just know. Like me, I always tell myself, I know, you know what, this shit might suck, but I know that the sun has to go down eventually. Or if it's at night, that sun got to come up eventually. This shit ain't forever. I'm just gonna knock out, do what the hell I gotta do, and because, you know, this isn't about to be the rest of eternity for me. You understand? It's going to end, and when you don't think about it, it ends up ending a whole lot quicker than what you even thought it was going to take in the first place, right? Pray, y'all understand that? All right, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. You understand? So to get the when you find gold, to make sure that you have pure gold, you go and burn it in fire, in the furnace of fire, right? And so what that does is that burns off all the dirt, all the rocks, all the impurities, everything and anything that is not gold. The gold will survive. Basically, what will end up happening is you get it hot enough, the gold will just melt, but all the other impurities, like, they'll pretty much disintegrate. You understand? They'll be completely burnt off. So now you have nothing but gold. You understand? I need to read that second part. And acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So, in other words, man, you are that gold. When you are going through that furnace of adversity, you are burning off that unacceptable man to become an acceptable man. You understand? You are learning how to be how to be patient and stop being so doggone impatient. You are learning to be more wise. You're learning to be, just an all around a better man, a better leader, a better brother when you go through, that furnace of adversity. That is why you should welcome, the hardships. Not, not saying, oh man, I just can't wait until I go through the next shitty situation so that I can become stronger and, like you're freaking Goku or something. You understand? Like, that's not what I'm saying. All right. It's just when the time does come, don't sit there and bitch and moan and complain. Because you know what? At the end of the day, when you are being put through a situation, when you're being put through a time of when you're going through a time of adversity, you are being proven of your worth, but of course also so that you may progress to, let's say you officer of 1,000 to become an officer of 5,000. You understand? Nothing is just given to somebody. You understand? The Lord doesn't just do handouts. You have to prove that you are ready for this. You deserve this. You understand? That is that furnace of adversity. And again, each time that you go through it, you become a better and better man or woman. You understand? All right. Drop that. We're going to go to the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7 and verse 57. All right. This is the book of 2nd Esdras? Yeah. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is a condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Verse 58. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. You understand? So, in other words, this goes back to, what the whole topic is in the first doggone place. Do not fall weak to temptation. Because, like what it says, if you fall weak to temptation, whoops, I lost my place. I lock you, y'all. I'm on 8. I jumped to 8. So lucky. No, I'm tripping. See? So I lost my doggone place. Hold on. All right. Then answered he said, me, and said, this is the condition of the battle. So always understand that we are constantly in battle. Just like what the scripture says, and just to paraphrase it, but our war is not a physical war. It is a spiritual war of principalities. You understand? So this is that war that is being referred to right here in Second Esdras, right? And that battle. Which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. So I mean, if you're born here, like, so in other words, every man is going to go through this. Every man, including Yahushua Mashiach, which this verse in itself lets you know that Christ was born on this earth just like everybody else. You understand this in the same way? Because mind you as well, did he not go through the same temptations that we do? Of power and money and the whole shebang? He did. All right. Verse 58. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. So if you fall to your temptations, you're going to suffer as it, just like as it was written. You understand? But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. So there is a reward for you overcoming your temptations. You understand? You actually do get something out of, proving that you are better than all these other people on the face of the earth. It's one thing to hear that you are. And of course, like even for me, when I heard that for the first time, that, because of who I am, according to the seed of my father, that God says that I'm better than everybody else on the face of the earth. Like that really messed me up. But as y'all, some of y'all know, like my mother is a devil. You understand? And I didn't grow up in the Mormon church, but I know of it, right? And was pretty close with her side of the family. So just to hear that God says that I'm better than all of them was, it was kind of like, well, damn, like, how am I supposed to, like go about this? Like, yeah, it felt good. It felt, it was a cool thing to hear. But at the same time, which is the next step, what the hell are you going to do with that knowledge, though? The Lord sees you as better because you can be better. But will you be better? You understand? And obviously, because here I am in the ISUPK, I made that choice that I was going to be better. Mind you, I'll even keep it a buck with y'all. I almost went into JUIC at first. That was the first classes I started, learning. I watched like maybe it was just a handful of classes. But then, big shout out to Officer 1000 Kowal out there in North Carolina in Fayetteville. He was the one who was like, okay, was listening to, these purple homosexuals. But look, man, I heard about this ISUPK. Let's check these out. Ever since he put me on, I haven't seen a single purple class since. You understand? But that's because I wanted to be, what the Lord had called me to be, what the Lord said that I was. I wanted to, live up to, you can say, that label, that name, what have you. You understand? Yeah. You understand that? So we're actually going to drop it right there. Salakia for starting late. Oh, where's the pen at? Salakia for starting late. We'll be sure to, get that issue fixed for the next class. You understand? So we'll pick up from where we left off next week, and then the following class, as I said, we'll start getting into the regeneration breakdown. I haven't done that in a good little hot minute, and I think that's a good refresher, especially if this being the Tuesday Brotherhood class. You understand? Understanding that this Brotherhood being in the ISUPK, like if you here now, you was here before. You understand? Everybody essentially is going to be doing the same exact thing. I mean, That's part of the reason why the Most High has said that for my flock, when they hear my voice, they know it. You understand? Because we've been here before. We've heard the truth before, and we came running to it just like we did each time, in each lifetime that we had. You understand? So with that, Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakathum to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Ilathum by Shem Yahushai to the sisters. I'm Officer 500 Rock. This is ISUPK Las Vegas Tuesday Brotherhood class. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yana. And with that, class dismissed.